Can you imagine the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s and the things that you got away with and put up with in the age of social media? How would have that played out?
There is no team. I don't know if there's – look, I don't know if we would have had enough players to actually line up and play on Sunday. And I'm not – if I tell all the stories, I'm incriminating myself.
Correct.
There's so much that took place on that team just within the locker room. I'm not even talking like after practice. In the locker room itself, the things that took place would have disqualified certain players from walking out on that field on Sunday. But it was – and you have to give Jimmy Johnson credit. He pulled all these personalities, whether it be Charles Haley or Michael Irvin or Nate Newton. And I mean, there's so many, Eric Williams, so many guys with huge personalities who were extremists. Early on, I was one of those that were extremists and had our own little things that we like to do outside of football. I couldn't imagine having cameras or an iPhone or whatever it may be that, back in those days, because we would have never have been able to line up with that team. There's no way we're winning Super Bowls.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody knows a few of the stories that we know about the White House, a little place you all had to go to relax and meet some people, for lack of a better term.
Meet and greet.
Just a meet and greet. Just a different level of meet and greet, if we're really honest about it. And then there's Nate, by the way. And one of my favorite stories about Nate was, everybody loved Nate as a quote because he was a big, fat, funny guy, right? Now, God bless him. He's thinned down amazingly. He looks great. He's got his life in order, all that kind of stuff. But even after he stopped playing, he had some issues. And, he got caught twice with a van full of weed that would have, kept a lot of fraternities in business for about a year and a half.
Pounds. You really went over that, like 405 to 500 pounds.
Well, I mean, if you're going in, go in, right? That's why I appreciate Nate. Like, I respect that. If you're going to dive in, you're diving in. And one of the great things about Nate, the second time he got caught, I think he had his perp walk and he's got his cuffs on. He just looks in the TV camera and said, "Y'all be kind to Big Nate. Y'all be kind to Big Nate because I was good to you all those years." Oh, so what's the story we don't know that you feel comfortable telling us?
I got to tell this one, man, because it just popped up because I was talking about Nate. But I don't know if you remember Derek Kennard.
Oh, absolutely. Number 60.
Okay, 60. And Derek Kennard, if Nate weighed 360, Derek Kennard was 365, 370. Like they would have these fat guy jokes go back and forth. So we're in the locker room one day, and our locker room was a square. And you can see the offensive guys are on one side, defense is on the other side. So Derek Kennard came in one day, and again, it had to be 360, 365. Yeah. He was wearing some they weren't even underwear, brother. He stayed the night somewhere else last night because he had like a T-back on or something. And you could see it from the opposite room how his ass was swallowing up this tea-back, right?
Oh
he stayed, I'm serious, it was not his. Yeah. It was somebody else that had to be a big one. He was wrestling with a big one the night before, but she had a tea-back that he just borrowed it. Oh. And it was, oh my God. And that locker room was in an uproar.
Look, man.
That was that locker room.
Spandex is a right. It's not a privilege. I mean, it's a privilege, not a right. And it's not for everybody. There's just no way about that. By the way, of all the things you would borrow from a person you may not know very well, that may be the last thing I'd say. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to do this, right? That might be the last item. I'll take a shoe, a sock, a shirt.
That is extreme confidence.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that.
Oh man, Big Baby he loved him some DK dog. I mean, it did not even shy away from it.
Yeah,
turned around frontward, like, yeah, this is me, and
deal with it. The other thing, everybody knows Michael and his problems that he got into, and Charles Haley's certifiable, and glad he's doing things better. And obviously Eric had the car crash, but people may not know the guy that really was the ringleader of all that stuff wasn't Michael Irvin. It wasn't Charles Haley. It was Harp.
Yeah.
Alvin Harper took it to another level.
And, Harp, God bless Harp. I mean, you talk about a damn good, probably one of the best athletes I've ever been around. Could jump 45 inches, could go up and get balls, do whatever you wanted to do. But at the same time, Hart had that wild side about him that was something you couldn't. But he did it in a way where he wasn't flamboyant about it.
Right.
You know, Mike was the flamboyant one. So
no, the hell you say?
Hart. Then he elevated the game. But Hart was very quiet about it. Tried to do it the right way without anybody really knowing about it. It was just that once he started it, he had so many personalities that just took it to that next level.
Yeah.
But, you know, Hart would run in a jock strap. We would run 110s leading up to training camp. So what we had before training camp, we had to do a conditioning test. And back then it was I think it was 24 110s.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I take it back. It was 18 110s. We did 18
Either way.
110s. So we would train in the off season for the conditioning test. He would wear his cleats, spat his cleats up with tape, and just wear a jock strap and run. And it was like
aerodynamics.
Hilarious. Dude, that was Hart. Like Hart was that dude. Like crazy wild.
Again, all in.